Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery. Got a product video for you today. We wanted to tell you about the Specialty Archery PXS Peep system. So this is a complete system that we're going to tell you about from Specialty. This is of course going to be primarily for target archery, 3D, indoor, outdoor field, any of that target archery games. The PXS system is going to be great for you. So it starts off with the peep sight. This is the peep body here, and the PXS body is going to have, you're going to see different ridges cut in here. Let me get two that are the same. Okay, so right here you're going to see one, and right here you're going to see another. This one's the steeper one. So this is going to be 45 degrees. And this one is going to be 37 degrees. That's the string groove. Of course, you're going to put this in the middle of your bowstring, separating the strands. The strings are going to fit into one of these, 37 or 45. So which string angle you use is going to depend on a lot of factors. You know, the length of the bow, the brace height, your draw length. But generally, you're going to see the longer draw lengths are going to go with the 37 degree, shorter draw lengths, you're going to have the 45 degree because of the string angle. But again, that all varies then when you get into like a 30-inch bow versus a 40-inch bow, that affects it as well. But it doesn't matter because the PXS has both of them in there, both string angles. As we mentioned, this is a system, so there are a lot of parts that you're going to add on to this peep. So right here I have what's known as the Specialty Archery PXS Deluxe Kit. So this is going to come, you know, you're going to get your peep sight, and then in the Deluxe Kit you're going to get 5 apertures right here, and you're going to get 5 clarifiers. So this is going to come with clarifiers. On the side here, you're going to notice I have verifiers. We'll tell you about the differences. In the Deluxe Kit, it's 5 apertures, 5 clarifiers. So the apertures, first off, they're going to vary in size. You're going to get 1/32, 3/64, 1/16, 3/32, and 1/8. So that's going to be really small to 1/8 inch. That's going to be your largest. And then over here, your clarifier lenses. You're going to have 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, and 3. Which one you use depends on a lot of things. It's going to depend on your eyes, what you can see. You would go through these to figure out which one gives you the best target picture. Now, what you're going to do is the aperture, everything is toolless. You need no tools to assemble this peep sight, which is what's great. No more Allen wrench, no more special tool. You know, Specialty had a specific tool that you would use for installing apertures and for getting your lenses out. No more. You can see right here on this aperture, this is going to be the 3/64 size aperture. You can see this knurling right here. That's going to be what you're going to screw this in with. You're just going to do it by hand. You can see the threading down here, and now what we really want you to see are these ears right here on this peep. You can see those, it's like a bracket. We call them ears. That is what's going to capture your clarifier or your verifier lens. Whatever lens you put in there, that's what you're going to use. So, you know, previously, folks like myself, you can see that clarifier lens there. That thing is small. Very easy to drop that thing, and once you do, boy, good luck finding it. So, Specialty made this simple by putting those ears on the aperture. This is what you're going to do. Set it down on a soft surface, press that in place, and now you can see my lens is captured in there. Held in place by those 2 ears, never have to worry about that thing falling. So I'm going to come to my peep sight, going to go to the front end there, that's the big end, and I'm just going to screw it together. Just like that, my peep sight is ready. You'll notice I have, sitting on here, I have a sunshade. That would be what you would put in the other side of the peep. You know, if you wanted to just extend that peep sight out a little bit, block a little more glare from getting into your lens, that would be the assembled peep sight there. Now, what are the benefits of this peep sight? So, you saw we had the aperture. That is plastic. The body of the peep sight itself is metal, it is aluminum. That lens does not touch any metal parts. It's captured in the aperture, which is plastic, and built inside this peep, there's a plastic seat that the lens sits on. When I screw it in, it goes and touches against a plastic seat. So that lens is completely surrounded by plastic, no metal contact on there. Of course, that's great. That means you don't have to worry about that lens scratching or cracking. So something else unique to this peep sight. The way it is constructed, it has what Specialty calls center string technology. So when you mount this peep sight in your bowstring, where you look through the hole, that is perfectly in the center of the string. So even if you come back to full draw, you know, sometimes you come to full draw and your peep sight sits a little bit like that, or it sits a little bit the other way, just off a little bit. Well, with other peep sights, that can lead to left-right misses because then you're not looking straight through the peep. The way this peep sight is, no matter how it's sitting, if you can see through it, you're looking at the center. So it will not change your point of impact just because the peep sight did not come back perfectly flat to your eye. So that's a great feature as well, because that happens all the time. We all deal with that. Peep sight not coming perfectly back. The lenses. Specialty has designed these lenses that they don't have to be sitting in here a perfect way. You know, that lens, you can spin that in any direction. It's not going to matter. No matter how this lens sits in there, you're going to get the best picture, and it's not going to change your point of impact. You're not going to have left rights. You can have this lens sitting in here in any position, forward or back. It does not matter. Okay, so as we mentioned, there is the Deluxe Kit, which gives you all the apertures and all the clarifiers. What you're going to use clarifiers for, that's going to be if you have a lens in your scope housing. If you have a lens and a pin, or a lens with a dot on it, anything to do with a lens in your scope housing, you're going to want to use clarifiers. The verifiers over here, this is going to be what you would use if you have no lens. So all you're referring to are your sight pins. You want to clear up your sight pins. You're going to use the verifiers. As we mentioned, we do have 4, 5, 6, and 7 power is what they go by. But it's not a magnification. They'll give you different levels of clarity. Again, same thing. You're going to have to figure out which one works for your eyes to give you the best picture. Ultimately, the goal of these lenses and peeps and apertures is to get a clear view of your pins and a clear view of the target. And they work in conjunction with another. Obviously, the lenses, whether you're using a clarifier or a verifier, that's going to clear things up. The apertures as well. You can shrink an aperture, and sometimes that makes a picture clearer, or you can open it up if you need to get more light in. That's why we call this a system, because you're going to figure out which one works best for you. And there may be situations where you want to change in the middle of a round. You know, 3D archery, you want to have a nice small peep to get you that precision aiming, but 3Ds were in the woods, so it can be dark. So you can start out a round where it's super dark. You know, that 3/64th aperture may be too small. You might have to start out with a more open aperture, and then as the sun comes up and things get brighter, you can shrink back down again. So that's what we mean when we talk about a system. But that's my explanation of the Specialty PXS, but we did talk to a couple of pros out on the 3D course to get their thoughts of the Specialty PXS. Let's hear what they had to say.
So the PXS Peep from Specialty Archery, the thing I like about it is it's a modular system. So you have all different size apertures that are easy to unscrew and screw in your peep. All you have is a little knurled aperture, so no tools needed. You can actually put different clarifier clarifier peeps right in the peep, so they're not loose. You don't have to put those in the peep sight first and then put an aperture in behind it.
And I mean, it's not a very big lens to begin with, so I mean, dropping it on anything like this or out on the course or range, you're probably not going to find it. Where on the new PXS, it actually clips in a containment system on the aperture itself.
So they're all color coded for the different strength of the clarifier. You can keep them in there, and that way, like I say, you're not dropping them on the ground, and just switch the apertures in and out.
The original, I guess, specialty peep that they had, everything was all contained into one. So it was harder to clean the apertures. You needed a tool to take them out or an Allen wrench to take them out, where this, you can basically remove the lens and remove the aperture, separate those two components, clean the lens, clip it back together, and screw it back in the peep all with your hand and no tools.
What I usually do is I have a bunch of different size apertures set up, different power clarifiers set up, and then I can easily change them in and out and see what works best for whatever lens that I'm shooting. The thing about 3D archery is, like, it can change with lighting conditions. It change. You may want to run a different power scope. You may want to run a different size scope. So you're constantly changing apertures and clarifiers, or at least I am anyhow, to try to find just the perfect system for whatever you're shooting that weekend.
So on both peeps, you're able to add a shade in the front side of the peep, actually, which, I mean, it makes the peep a little bit longer, maybe reduces the glare a little bit. Personally, I don't run the sunshade in either one, especially when I ran the Podium and now when I'm running the PXS. I don't run the front shade at all. I've personally never really needed to. I've never found any glare to actually cut through those threads or that baffling in the front.
I tend to run no clarifier for indoors, no clarifier for like field archery. I run a 5 power with a 364 aperture. But for here, I run a 6 power lens with a 3/32 aperture and actually a number 2 clarifier.
The aperture in the back, I like the material that it's made out of. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but it's a super matte plastic or composite material. Reduces glare big time. Honestly, I've shot all the peeps across the market, and the PXS is by far the clearest and best peep on the market.
So it's a very easy system to use. That's what I like about it. It's just easy to use. You have all different kinds of options there.
All right, that's some great information there from Chris Perkins and Jesse Broadwater, 2 top target archers out there. They, of course, are putting this system to the ultimate test at the highest level, so we appreciate their thoughts on it. That is the PXS Target Peep sight system from Specialty Archery. Great system that Specialty has come up with. A lot of the best archers in the world are shooting their peep system. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. And as always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at LancasterArchery.com.